Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'll be talking about why the UFC won't sign Ben Askren. And more so, I'm not going to be talking about why they won't sign him. I'm saying why they should sign him and why it's kind of dumb that they don't sign him. So let's just get straight to it and not even sugarcoat nothing. The real reason they won't sign Ben Askren is because Dana White doesn't like him. I think he might have said some stuff. Dana White might have said some stuff. And that whole beef between them. And the real reason why they won't sign him because not only did he have some beef with Dana White, but they fear that he could win and he could dominate. He could make the sport, or at least the division, boring, or whatever division he's in, boring, and that he's not that exciting fighter, not that much of a draw. And for all the trash talk he talked, because if Ben Askren was like a scrubby fighter, but still somewhat good, maybe won some championships, or maybe was a contender in some other league, they might bring him over if he talked the same trash. But because he's that good at what he does, and it's not that impressive of a style, they kind of fear bringing him over. But really, Dana White, I don't think the UFC cares too much. I think it's more so Dana White. Dana White just doesn't like him for whatever reason because they said this, said that. They both got hot heads and like loose lips. They like to talk a lot trash and talk a lot of smack. But Ben Askren should be over here. Should have been in the UFC. He has great wrestling. His striking is not that great, but he knows at least how to deal with very top-notch level strikers. And once he puts everyone on their back, they're really not getting up. He's one of the best people at controlling you on the ground and dominating you. He has great cardio, great control, so he could hold you down and embarrass you for 5 rounds easily. People from the top of the top, like the best level competition, not even just mediocre competition. I'm talking about he could do that to just about anyone you name near or around his weight class. So that's what Dana White fears. He fears that Ben Askren come over, he might become champion and pretty much dominate the division, make the division look bad, or just put on poor performances and not really draw much money. But it's not always about the money. And I think in the UFC, he will at least get more challenge there. And like everything, when you're at the top of the top, you're at the very best, or you're supposed to be in the Premier League in the sport. People will get better when they see what you're doing, and they'll try to adapt. And I think it will make the sport better when they see that, oh, Ben Askren not just this guy beating B-tier competition, but beating top-tier competition. He already beat top-tier competition, but the UFC and a lot of other people are going to try to ignore that he's beating top-level competition. Like you could say Andre Koreskov and Lima, he dominated both of them, and you saw Roy McDonald come over there and almost got finished by Lima. So you already see that he's a top tier person, and like you didn't have to even try to sugarcoat nothing. He's already been a top tier competitor forever since he came in, and he should be in the UFC. No beef, no this, no that. And you can say, oh, he's boring, but they had Chael Sonnen, really a boring style. Definitely was aggressive with his wrestling, but not the most fan friendly style. But his trash talk made him a fan favorite. You have Jake Shields. You let Jake Shields come over to the UFC. I think even more boring than Ben Askren. And Jake Shields doesn't talk no trash, so you let him bring him over. Had John Finch over, very boring style. Pretty much similar to Ben Askren, but not as good. Better striking, wrestling not even close. A little bit better with the submissions, but Ben Askren's in a different league as far as wrestling goes than John Finch. Different league as far as control goes. So it's like you have already had these other boring type of style fighters, so it wouldn't be that much different to bring Ben Askren over. And so if he becomes a champion or even a top contender or beats good people, it's not like he's going to be there forever and he's only going to be in one division. And you have boring people in all different divisions, or at least boring to casuals. So what? It's not going to, he can't fight every single person on every single card. He'll be just one fight on one card, probably maybe 3 times a year at most. He'll be on 3 cards of the year. Then he'll probably retire in about really 3 or 4 years, or maybe less. Or maybe after he gets a big fight, he'll probably retire. Or maybe a couple big fights. So it wouldn't be like he would be in the UFC for like 10, 20 years, just boring up every single card. He's only one fighter. So I think it's more so just Dana White believing that he could become a champion, and then like you rubbing that in Dana White's face, so Dana White refuses to let him come over. But that's just dumb. The UFC is supposed to be the best. And plus, he's not going to warrant a big, super big contract. He would get a fair contract. He's not going to get no $1 million. Maybe at most $300,000. And that's a decent price to pay for the best to be in your league. You don't want to just say like try to sweep somebody under the rug like they weren't a top level competitor. If he feels he's a top level competitor, and really anybody that's not dumb knows he's a top level competitor, he should be in the UFC. The price tag for him is not that much. He got a little bit of trash talk, but that's okay. And plenty like they don't want to talk trash with plenty of people. He has plenty of people under his roster that are on bad terms with him or said bad things about him, and he says bad things about them. So nothing new. He's just scared of that boring style. And like I said, he can't fight on every single card and every single fight. It's not going to do too much. And they already have boring people on their roster and have had boring people on the roster people that probably were even more boring than Ben Askren, or at least, like I said, to the casuals. So that concludes this video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Leave your opinions in the comment section below, and maybe let's get Ben Askren in UFC if we can. So, peace.